The notion that global warming is a war by the mainstream media against Christianity may seem like a far-fetched and unsubstantiated claim. However, upon closer examination, it becomes apparent that there are some underlying themes and motivations that could be interpreted as such. The mainstream media's relentless coverage of climate change and its purported causes and consequences has led some to suggest that this is, in fact, a concerted effort to undermine Christianity and its values. One of the primary ways in which the media's coverage of global warming can be seen as a war against Christianity is through the promotion of a secular, human-centric worldview. The emphasis on human activities as the primary cause of climate change, such as carbon emissions and deforestation, serves to shift the focus away from a divine or supernatural explanation for the Earth's condition. This perspective is often presented as being in direct conflict with the biblical account of creation, which attributes the Earth's condition to God's sovereignty and humanity's stewardship. By downplaying the role of God and emphasizing human agency, the media's narrative on global warming can be seen as a challenge to traditional Christian beliefs. Furthermore, the media's portrayal of climate change as a moral issue, with humans being the primary culprits, can be seen as a form of secular evangelism. The constant barrage of apocalyptic warnings and dire predictions serves to create a sense of guilt and shame among Christians, implying that their faith is incompatible with environmental responsibility. This is often accompanied by a call to action, where individuals are encouraged to adopt a more sustainable lifestyle, which may involve rejecting certain Christian values or practices. For example, the emphasis on reducing population growth and consumption can be seen as a challenge to the biblical mandate to be fruitful and multiply. Additionally, the media's coverage of global warming often involves the promotion of a quasi-religious ideology with its own set of dogmas and rituals. The reverence with which climate scientists and activists are treated, the use of emotive language and imagery, and the creation of a sense of urgency in crisis all serve to create a cult-like atmosphere. This can be seen as a direct challenge to the authority of a Christian church and its teachings, as well as an attempt to supplant traditional religious beliefs with the new, secular orthodoxy. It is also worth noting that many of the key players in the climate change movement, such as Al Gore and Leonardo DiCaprio, have been vocal in their criticism of Christianity and its perceived role in perpetuating environmental degradation. Gore, in particular, has been accused of using his environmental activism as a vehicle for promoting a form of secular humanism, which is inherently at odds with Christian values. The fact that these individuals are often given a platform by the mainstream media to promote their views, while Christian perspectives are marginalized or ignored, serves to further reinforce the notion that global warming is being used as a weapon against Christianity. In conclusion, while the idea that global warming is a war by the mainstream media against Christianity may seem exaggerated or conspiratorial, there are certainly some underlying themes and motivations that could be interpreted as such. The promotion of a secular, human-centric worldview, the use of moralistic language and imagery, and the creation of a quasi-religious ideology all serve to challenge traditional Christian beliefs and values. As such, it is essential for Christians to be aware of these dynamics and to engage in a nuanced and informed discussion about the role of faith in the climate change debate. By doing so, they can help to promote a more balanced and accurate understanding of the issues at stake and resist the attempts by the mainstream media to undermine their faith and values.